And welcome back to racing action, and what an unfortunate afternoon it's been for the Jets Pizza 21 of Jose Mendana. As you see the onboard camera going to the trailer, the afternoon is done for the young man out of Miami, Florida. Whose afternoon is not done is the man that still sits atop this class here in F1. It's the 10 of Terry Rinker. He's screaming down the back straightaway, hitting speeds of upwards of 135 miles an hour as he goes down out of turns 3 and 4. Being forced wide to the outside by the 17 of Brian Benton, who sits in 4th position now, running for Northern Concrete Pike, but having a hard time holding off the hard-charging veteran out of Tampa, Florida. The 10 of Rinker still can see in his rearview mirror the 62 Kroger Foods of Chris Fairchild as the native of Paw Paw, Illinois, pushes hard down the back straightaway coming out of turns 1 and 2. Look out, Terry Rinker almost going over down the back straightaway as he skipped it over the shores of the Saginaw and was able to corral it, moving down into turn 3 and 4 and getting back under control. There, the 51 of Tyler Welch running for Simmons Jewelry, having a rough time here in his rookie debut on the US F1 Powerboat Tour, as well as the other half of the Welch Racing team, the 24 of Mark Welch, still struggling as they both joined the US F1 Tour in 2012. Mark Welch, a veteran of the US F1 Tour from back in the early to mid-90s, running for Cody Marine, taking a 15-plus year hiatus from US F1, now joining us back here in 2012, looking to bring the second generation of the Welch Racing team into the Formula One powerboat ranks. As you see there, the 10 of Terry Rinker continuing to open up a lead over the 62 of Chris Fairchild, now almost 3.5 to 4 seconds over the second place boat. As you see there, the 62 of Fairchild creeping up the inside of the front straightaway with Kroger Foods on the side, going down into turn 1 and 2. As he works his way down into turn 1, slides it down into 1, now trying to keep those RPMs up so he can do everything in his power to catch the leader, the Amsoil number 10 of Terry Rinker. There's the Meyer & Associates number 26 of Stephen Lee, the Ocala, Florida native, running here only in his second season with the US F1. And again, another one of those Lee Aero slot hulls, a little bit different design on the number 26 boat, but really starting to dial in, and hopefully he can fix a couple of gremlins that he's had here over the last year or so. If he can find those, definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with in 2012. Rinker still pushing hard out in front. He started on the pole and he has held a tight grip on that lead here as we're through 35 of 50 laps here in this 50-lap main event on the shores of the Saginaw. It's the 2012 Dow Bay City River Roar and the US F1, brought to you by MarineEngine.com. You see there the 72 of Lynn Simmerger, Great Lakes Paint and Sea Arc Boats. You want a high-performance pontoon? Check out the folks at Sea Arc Boats. That's SeaArcBoats.com, and Great Lakes Pain, a great chiropractic and pain provider here in the greater Bay City area. Still, Fairchild trying to track down the 10 of Terry Rinker. You can imagine the radio communication between himself and his crew chief as they try to find any line on the water to gain ground on the number 10 Amsoil machine, as he has been absolutely dialed in all weekend long, and as he continues to scream out front here on the Saginaw River. Knifing down hard into turn number 3, now sliding wide, popping it back up on its tail, sweeping the turn, packing air. Under there, 130, 135 miles an hour as he reaches his top speed down the front straightaway. One more lap down for our leader, the 10 of Terry Rinker, as he continues to push out in front, trying to close out this first stop on the 2012 US Formula One Powerboat Tour. See there, the 17 of Benton getting a little squirrely as he goes down the back straightaway. Really pushing hard as they try to do everything they can to track down the leader. You see the left 72 of Lynn Simmerger diving hard to the inside, having to try to fight off the hard-charging 62 of Fairchild. Fairchild moving down the Vets Park side of the Saginaw River, pushing down. Oh, look out there, Tyler Welch, rookie, getting a little squirrely down the front straightaway, almost stuffing the boat and ruining the weekend for the young man out of Wayzata, Minnesota, but able to catch it at the last possible second and keep the boat upright here in the waning stages of the 50-lap final. As Rinker moves down the back straightaway, slides it down into turn number 3. What a beautiful sight it is to see the number 10 of Terry Rinker in complete and total control of that Lee Aero slot, looking to drive the Amsoil sponsored entry to victory here in the Saginaw. Again, how choppy this water gets really dictates how this race is going in the later parts as it bounces off those concrete reinforced seawalls. As it bounces off the concrete reinforced seawalls, the shores of the Saginaw River become very difficult to navigate here as we're under 10 laps remaining in this 50-lap main event. as our leader moves down the back straightaway, down into turns 3 and 4. You can see the 16 of Tim Seebold going down the back straightaway now with that Johnson outboard on the back. Seaway Marine, marineengine.com, and Bud Light sponsors on the side. First year back after a hiatus in 2011. Talking to Tim and his father, the great Bill Seebold, really did a lot to dial in 2011 and really prep themselves for the 2012 season so that they could be one of those forces to be reckoned with out in front all season long. As he's able to get by the 72 of Lynn Simberger out of Elsa, Illinois. Lynn really pushing hard with those boats that he now builds out of his shop in Elsa, formerly the Revolution boats. A little birdie telling me that we might see them be called the Evolution boats here as they move forward with boat manufacturing in the Formula One class. Oh, look at that. The 17 of Brian Benton somehow has lost his canopy. That cockpit no longer going to be enclosed, which means it's going to be even a longer day for the Northern Concrete Pipe. Number 17 of Brian Benton, as he is now going to take the assault and onslaught of the rooster tails of his fellow competitors as he moves throughout the course here in the final stages of this 50-lap main event. As the Tenatary Rinker continues to push hard, knowing that he cannot let up at any point, because if he lets up at all, he's not going to be able to let up at any point, as he knows when he looks in his rearview mirror, he sees that big white DAC with Kroger Foods on the side, the 62 of Chris Fairchild. Fairchild now moving out of turns 1 and 2, putting it back up on his tail, really pushing hard as he moves down the back straightaway, down in front of Nut House Yacht Club, one of the great sponsors of the Formula One Prop Tour here at the Bay City River Roar, along with all the other great sponsors, Northern Concrete Pipe, Omnisource, Soaring Eagle Casino, Wheels 104.5, and can't forget the title sponsor over the last 4 years here at the Bay City River Roar, Dow Chemical. As we can see, the 21er Jose Mendana Jr. able to make it back onto the course here and at least log some laps and get a few of those critical points needed to take the overall points title here at the end of the season. So he knows that his podium finish for the day is pretty much over with. If he can log more laps and get some more of those crucial points, that's going to go a long way to trying to put that 21 machine on top of the podium for the 2012 points overall standings. He's now pushed that boat way wide to the outside, trying to stay out of the way of those front runners with the Tenatary Rinker, the 62 of Chris Fairchild sitting in second, the 16 of Tim Seebold, the 17 of Brian Benton, and rounding out the top 5, the 72 CR boat sponsored entry of Lynn Simberger. Our leader, Terry Rinker, getting by the Simmons Jewelry 51 of Tyler Welch as he moves down the front straightaway. You see the beautiful rooster tail coming off that 2.5-liter electronically fuel-injected Mercury V6 outboard. As he's able to get past the other half of the Welch Racing team, the number 24 of Mark Welch as he goes down into turns 1 and 2. Already out of 1 and 2, now back up to top speed as our leader, the 10 of Terry Rinker, moves down the back straightaway, continuing to log a few more laps and try to close in on that checkered flag here at the 2012 Dow Bay City River Roar. As you can see, the issues continuing for the Mendana Racing Team and the Jets Pizza 21 of Jose Mendana. Looks like he's going to have to bring it back to the trailer for a second time to try to correct that power steering issue. Hopefully he can make it back on the course and grab a few more of those valuable points needed for that points championship here in 2012. You see the 62 of Fairchild relinquishing a bit of a lead here in the later stages of this main event and trying to fight hard to close down the man who's led since the beginning. He started on the pole. He took the drop of the flag and was able to beat everybody to turn number 3 and start lap 1 of 50 out in front and has not relinquished it as of yet. But that's the tough thing about the Saginaw. It continues to get rougher and choppier. The question is will the 10 of Terry Rinker be able to be running on the course when the 50 laps are all said and done? There's the Meyer & Associates 26 of Steve Lee pushing hard down the front straightaway. Steve running one of 2 boats here at the Bay City River, the other half of the Lee Racing Team running in the Formula Lights class here earlier on this afternoon, which was captured by the 27 of Carlos Mendana. A great driving job by the younger brother of the 21 of Mendana, looking to make his own mark here on the USF1 Powerboat Tour in 2012. But the big boys are out there on the course, speeds of 135 miles an hour. You see Rinker, the number 10, Amsoil on the side, our leader, out in front, continuing to push hard on the rough and tumble waters as he tries to make his way and navigate through the back markers here in the late stages of this 50-lap main event. As we are now narrowing the end, here as our leader, the 10 of Terry Rinker, continues to push for the first title of 2012. Only 5 laps remaining for our leader, who has gone wire to wire so far. Will he be able to finish the last 5 laps of this 50-lap main event and capture the checkered flag? As you can see the white flag go up, go fast, turn left just 4 more times for the driver out of Tampa, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Your champion of the 2012 Dow Bay City River Roar here on the shores of Saginaw out of Tampa, Florida, running for Amsoil Synthetics, number 10, Terry Rinker. And rounding out the top 3, he put a valiant effort on the board, but wasn't able to track down our leader in second position out of Paw Paw, Illinois, running for Kroger Foods, number 62, Chris Fairchild. And rounding out the top 3, after a hiatus in 2011, jumping into the back of a Johnson-powered marine-sponsored entry boat out of Osage Beach, Missouri, number 16, Tim Seebold. As we continue to push hard through this race, 50-lap dash for cash to crown the champion in 2012 at the Bay City River Roar. We got to thank the great folks at the River Roar Committee, as well as the great folks of the greater Bay City area. We'd like to thank all of our local sponsors, as without them, this race would not be possible. We'd also like to thank the folks at marineengine.com. Don't forget to check out marineengine.com for all your boating needs. The #1 place on the internet for all your needs, from manuals to accessories to boat engine parts. We'd like to thank the folks at marineengine.com as the primary sponsor of the 2012 US F1 Powerboat Tour. The leader, 10 of Terry Rinker, still pushing hard. The 16 of Tim Seebold with Bud Light on the side, trying to get back to the top of the podium here as he has before on the Saginaw River. It's been a while since the 16 has carried the checkered flag here at the Bay City River Roar, looking to make 2012 the first in a few for the 16 of Tim Seebold. As he's already down out of turns 3 and 4, down the front straightaway, now coming back into turn #1. Pushing that all-white, blue trim Bud Light, Fabiano Brothers, Seaway Marine, Johnson-powered outboard down the back straightaway, trying to do everything he can to navigate these waters as quickly as possible, because right now it is a one-horse show as the 10 of Terry Rinker has got a considerable lead over the rest of the field as he continues to push the Amsoil-powered machine to victory here. As you can see, the white flag is out. Go fast, turn left. Just 4 more times for the man who's out in front, the Tampa, Florida native running for Amsoil Synthetics. As he slides it wide out of turn #4. Puts it up on its tail. That beautiful all-yellow Lee arrow slot. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Your champion of the 2012 Dow Bay City River Roar, out of Tampa, Florida, running for Amsoil Synthetics. Always the innovator, never the imitator. Amsoil the first in synthetics. Number 10, Mr. Terry Rinker. In second position with a valiant effort, but not having enough laps to track down our overall champion. The number 62 out of Paw Paw, Illinois. In second position, Mr. Chris Fairchild. And rounding out the top 3, the Osage Beach, Missouri native, running for Bud Light, Fabiano Brothers, Seaway Marine, and marineengine.com, number 16, Tim Seebold. As you can see, taking the parade lap and getting a big round of applause from the thousands of fans lining the shores of the Saginaw, your final champion, the number 10 of Terry Rinker. As we see here, the final results, the 10 of Terry Rinker taking the top spot, followed by the 62 of Fairchild, the 16 of Tim Seebold. Well, the 2012 Bay City River Roar is in the books, and the final checkered flag was handed to this man to my right, the number 10 of Terry Rinker. First of all, Terry, congratulations.
Oh, thanks a lot. It's great to be back on top here in Bay City.
Now, it's been a pretty dominant weekend for the number 10 Amsoil machine. You qualified #1 and you jumped off that dock. Was that kind of your game plan, to get out front early and make a pay?
Oh yeah, big time. Get out front early, and try to increase that distance for me and Chris. I knew he'd still be,
Let's talk about that. It seemed like the middle stages of the race, he really closed that gap. What did you do once you were by your radio crew and once you noticed in your reviews that he had really started to close that gap?
Yeah, I mean, that was the key. We knew that he was going to become strong at the middle of the race. That's when you start running into the faster back. Luckily, I was able to get my way through it. Do what possible to keep it back to the
Well, not only did you take the championship flag here, well, the Amsoil finished on the podium twice this afternoon. What do we expect to see from Amsoil for the rest of the 2020 season?
Rob, he's going to be running the 60 class, Formula 3 class in another series. And my older son, Ashton, he's coming back from the Marines, been here for about 2 months, working on a brand new 120 boat to get him on the water too.
So what you're telling me is the Rinker family is going to be a force to be reckoned with and be coming in full force here in not too short a time.
not too long. We're going to have a lot of boats on the water, and the Rinker name's going to be out here in Bay City and a lot of other races for a long time to come.
Well, the checkered flag is there. Amsoil's right there. The guy's name's Terry Rinker, and that's another checkered flag in the trophy case. Hey, man, great race, Terry.
Thanks.
All right, well,
Good
you
job.
got nasty. Again, the USF Powerboat Tour wants to thank MarineEngine.com. As one of this year's major sponsors serving the boating industry since 1999, MarineEngine.com has been a leading supplier of boat engine parts, manuals, and boating accessories in the USA. Be sure to visit them online at MarineEngine.com.